Welcome back to another episode of Box Score Breakdown. It's playoff picture time. Let's talk about the Niners and the Ravens, MVP, and who gets the number one seeds. As always, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more of this content. The Niners are in the playoffs. They are the NFC West champs after beating the Arizona Cardinals on the road. Brock Purdy looked good once again, and the Niners control their destiny if they win out, thanks to the Eagles slipping up and losing to the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. As for the rest of the NFC playoff picture, a lot has to shake out. 3 division crowns are still up for grabs, 2 wild cards, and the number one seed is still in the picture as well. The Rams-Saints on Thursday Night Football is basically a play-in game, so whoever gets the victory there, it looks like they'll be in a good standing to get in there. We'll talk about the Cowboys. They blew their chances. They might have a chance in the NFC East to win the division, but the 1 seed is out of the picture after they got mollywopped against the Buffalo Bills. The Lions, Dan Campbell, credit to them at 10-4. They are looking good as the North champions. Gotta finish strong, though. Somebody has to win in the NFC South. The Buccaneers did themselves a favor, beating the Packers. They're at 7-7, and they have to win out, but the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield, quite a story. The Eagles went from the 1 seed all the way down to the 5 seed after losing 3 consecutive games. They're at 10-4, licking their wounds, have a new defensive coordinator, trying to figure things out with Matt Patricia calling the plays on the defense and Jalen Hurts calling them out on offense. The Vikings and Rams are both 7-7, holding on to those last spots for dear life. A lot can happen in these final 3 weeks. Personally, it wouldn't surprise me if the Seahawks and the Rams both get in. The Vikings with Nick Mullins don't seem like they have the offensive firepower that they would need to win these last few games to get in. The AFC picture is interesting as well. It's a 3-team race for the number 1 seed. You have Miami, you have Baltimore, and somehow the Chiefs and Taylor Swift sneaking their way into the conversation. The Dolphins are fun to watch on Hard Knocks right now, but really it's the Ravens who've been capturing the attention of the AFC, and we're going to see that defense go head-to-head against Brock Purdy on Monday night, on Christmas night. It'll be fascinating to see. More on that in a minute. The team I didn't mention that everyone in the AFC is worried about are those Buffalo Bills. They just came off an impressive shellacking of the Dallas Cowboys. And Josh Allen's got it rolling. Joe Brady as offensive coordinator. James Cook at running back. The Bills are hot right now. If they can win out and sneak into this postseason, they're definitely a team that could find their way in the championship game, if not the Super Bowl. The Ravens have a 65% chance at that one, followed by the Dolphins at 24%. The Jaguars are holding on to the AFC South lead, with the Colts and the Texans somewhat in the rearview mirror. Behind the Ravens, you have the Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco, of all people. The Browns are on their 4th quarterback, and they're making a run right now at 9-5, holding on to the 5th spot, followed by the Bengals at 8-6, the Colts as well at 8-6. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the AFC picture shakes up because so many of these teams are neck and neck, and it's a matter of injuries and who finishes the season strong in these final 3 games. I personally like the Bills to sneak in as well as the Bengals. We'll find out, though, soon enough. We got to talk about Brock Purdy and the NFL MVP. Does it again against the Arizona Cardinals. Continues his case. I don't care what Cam Newton's saying or other media members. System quarterback. You could say what you want about Brock Purdy. 4 touchdowns and a dominant victory over the Arizona Cardinals. No interceptions. Throws for 242 yards in his hometown state of Arizona. Doesn't complete 70% of his passes. That would have been an 8th consecutive game, an NFL record, Joe Montana's. But hey, you got to love what Brock Purdy's doing right now. Even after the game when they ask him who should be NFL MVP, and he says Christian McCaffrey deserves it, his own teammate. Class act from Brock Purdy, tipping the cap to his teammate. CMC has 20 touchdowns this season. Has been an awesome two-way player, catching the ball out of the backfield, going down the field, making plays. And he might steal some votes from Brock. I'm not sure. Really, it comes down to Monday night, though. Dak Prescott did not play well against the Buffalo Bills. So Lamar Jackson, he's the quarterback of the number 1 seed, the Baltimore Ravens. Not putting up a overly impressive statistical season. Pretty solid, though. I think it all comes down to if you're leading the best team in your division or your conference, you definitely have a chance at MVP. So Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson going head-to-head on Monday Night Football. Christmas night, everyone's going to be probably at the dinner table, one eye on the kitchen TV, maybe sitting around watching it, having a couple cocktails. It's a great matchup. Certainly these teams met in the Super Bowl. I was there for that one. Bitter pill to swallow. But you got to love what this year's Niners team is doing, especially in the run game, and how they match up against the physicality of the Ravens. They're at home. The Ravens have to fly cross country. It's a disadvantage for them. You got to love the Niners in this game. And if they handle business, Brock Purdy should, in fact, win that MVP award. And how amazing will that be for a 7th-round draft pick? Okay, honorable mentions will be quick this week. As you can hear, I'm a little under the weather. Drew Lock, someone who has some of the most hilarious sideline videos in NFL history, from his Young Jeezy rap to now his, what do you call it, the backpack celebration. Just seeing him put that stuff on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. A beautiful touchdown pass over James Bradberry. Trash James Bradberry, as Deebo Samuel says. And, of course, the Seahawks still alive, still kicking, finding their way into this postseason if they're lucky. Dallas overhyped once again, losing 31-10. You got to give credit to the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, James Cook, rushing for over 266 yards against the Cowboys. The Bills, it's a bummer they stumbled earlier in the season, but they're definitely finding their strides, hopefully not too late. Bowl season is off and running, and there's a lot of wild games happening during the day. My favorite was the Toast Bowl, where Western Kentucky comes back from a 21-point deficit, and they're definitely celebrating with some nice toast on the field. What's your favorite toast? I'd go with a nice sourdough. Tommy DeVito crashes back to earth. Got to give credit to the New Orleans Saints for a humbling victory. And what's going to happen with his agent, Sean Stellato? These two have become the social media fodder we needed late in the season. Sounds like there might be a rift where Tommy DeVito hired a new marketing agent to rep him after a pizza appearance went awry. You can't make this stuff up. ChatGPT couldn't write it. Tommy DeVito, will that bubble burst? We're not sure, but for now, the love-hate relationship with him and his agent is something we're all watching very closely on social media. Joe Flacco as well. Got to give credit to him. Throws 3 picks, but beats the Bears and has the Browns in the playoff mix somehow, some way. Joe Flacco's doing it. And then lastly, give credit to the Chargers, doing what they should have done last offseason. They fired Brandon Staley, the analytics superstar defensive coordinator who just oversaw one of the most inept, overhyped defenses, just could never get it going, wasted Justin Herbert's prime. The Chargers have a great social media content game, but can they call plays and lead a program to class in the NFL? Not quite. So will they go after Jim Harbaugh? We'll have to see. But I got to tip the cap to the Chargers for doing the right thing and moving on from a coach that wasn't getting it done. All right, under the weather episode. Hopefully I'll feel better soon, and thank you all for watching. Take care.